The following program deals with a controversial subject. The theories expressed are not the only possible interpretation.
The viewer is invited to make a judgment based on all available information.
It is definitely not April 28th. It is definitely May 5th. I just didn't get the thing done in time because we were scrambling. We're scrambling, you guys. What's up, everybody? I'm sorry for the wait, but we wanted to make sure the list was correct. Stein had some router issues, but he got faster internet out of it. That's a good thing.
Yeah, of course, it doesn't show up until Monday, though, so...
Yeah.
It is what it is, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah. No worries, man. We got the list rocking, and we're here. It's Friday night. It is almost midnight on the East Coast, but we're gonna show you guys some love with a killer list. We got Richie back. How you feeling, brother?
I'm still feeling kind of shitty, but a lot better than I was last week. No, oh man.
Yeah, ready to rock. Well, thank you, brother. I want to say thank you real quick to everybody that was on the show last night or the other night with Dinesh on Wednesday night on Beyond Wednesdays for our Wednesday night review. It was a really, really good interview, you guys. And if you get a chance and you haven't seen it, go check it out. You can find a link to Beyond Wednesdays below. It was our Wednesday night review from last Wednesday with Dinesh, and he talked a lot about Bad Idea. He talked a lot about Valiant, talked a lot about growing up in Hong Kong and, you know, how he got into comics. And I got some really good comments about the interview, and I really appreciate them. Shout out to Mr. Roboto. I haven't had a chance to respond to your comment yet, but I really liked your comment. So I appreciate everybody out there that was kind of willing to take a look at it from a different angle. I think there's a lot of, and I call it hate for Dinesh, and I don't consider everybody out there that kind of like it has a feeling about one way or not about Dinesh, and I consider them haters. I consider, like, there's people out there, and we know a lot of those people. Dennis definitely went off in the chats, and I let him do it. I apologize that he got timed out. That wasn't something that I do on my channel. I don't time people out or block people unless you're like selling stuff. So I apologize for that. But I really consider, like, when I say haters for Dinesh, the people that like are just there just to talk shit. And there's definitely some people that do that. So shout out to everybody that actually kind of took a second to watch the interview. And I think if you watch it, you'll really enjoy it. Make sure you guys check it out. Great market report, too, with Hood going off. Like, just making Richie was crying. So, good show. But that being said, you guys, let's get into, speaking of Richie, Buy the Dip. Starting off, what is in the background there? Hold on. I got to fix this, you guys. Yeah, look at me. I'm all over the place. Boom. Buy the Dip. All right, starting off with we got an interesting pair here. An interesting pair is what I'll say. What do we got going on here, Ben?
Yeah, so I know, do you guys remember, I don't know, what was it, like 8 months ago, something like that? Somebody was pushing these Gamora and Nebula #1s. I can't remember who it was, but somebody was pushing them saying, oh yeah, buy these things. These things jumped up to like 25, $30 a piece on these #1s. And we were like, don't do it. It's a whatever it was.
It's a trap.
It's a trap, whatever it is. I can't think of the words. Anyways, somebody sold the Gamora #1 and the Nebula #1, CGC 9.8 this week for $50 for both of them for CGC 9.8s. So yeah, when we don't listen to these people. I'm telling you, they're this fool's gold.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, Guardians of the Galaxy, we kind of need to talk about that. Like, I think a lot of people are waiting to see if anything pops for Guardians, right? And here's a perfect example of, if you're a Guardians fan, you can pick up cheap books out there that you might not have expected. This was always a book. I love the cover. I think at the time it was, who was it that kind of took a little heat for this?
Is it Ultra?
No, it was.
I don't remember who. I can't remember.
I think it was Bry's
Decor.
Comics. Bry's Comics.
Yeah,
Bryce Comics? Okay.
Decor said it was Bry's comic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not a fan of this book as a spec book, but I love it as a cover. And for all those people that really wanted to pick up this book and thought that it still might be expensive, how much did it sell for again, Stein?
The pair for Nebula and Gamora #1, both CGC 9.8 sold for $50.
Wow.
It's funny because Gamora, that Gamora issue was like $1.80 at like every online retailer. But on the Ultra tip, now I remember the Nebula 1 in 50 he spec'd on. I think it was on FOC. It was a while ago, and it ended up being a nice book. So thank you for that, by the way.
Yeah, really, really cool stuff. What I think is really, really cool stuff, though, is, and I want to do this before we get too far into this, is I want to thank all the homies that chatted live for the beginning of the show. We got some interesting stuff. We've got $1.99 super chat from Volsey that says, "Brian, Ben, come out, little fellas. Don't be scared." So shout out to him. And then how about to our boy Chad Cave that said, also Chad Cave donated and said, "Does it start at $25?" And then he says, "I feel like I could be doing something else. Show me something." So don't worry, we're rocking it. We're trying to get through this, you guys. So appreciate you, Chad. All right. Next on Buy the Dip. This is a book that I love. I know a lot of other people love, and we've been waiting for it to probably come down to a decent price. Star Wars: The Force Awakens #1. This is the Quesada 1 in 300 sketch variant, right?
Yeah, this cover is awesome. Even if you don't like Rey, this cover is just looks like Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
So CGC 9.8s of this sell for about $900. And I know a lot of people do not like CBCS, but a CBCS 9.8 of this sold this week for $400.
Wow.
So more than half the price of a CGC 9.8. If you don't like CBCS, yes, they grade very similar to CGC. You could easily crack this, and yeah, I mean, for $400, I think I would have picked this one up for that if I would have saw it.
33% above ratio. This is a 1 in 300, correct?
Right. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Furbird donated, he says, for Chad, and welcome back, Rich. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Much love.
That
everybody.
was a playing at Arizona. I think that was an auction, I believe. I'd have to go back and look, but I think it was an auction.
Wow. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Next on Buy the Dip, brought to you by Popcorn Culture. Make sure you guys are subbing up. You can find the link below. Let's get Richie to 1,000. A book that we're going to have Mighty Mel V and all the Drunken Chat fans going crazy tonight. I'm telling you. Just be ready, you guys. It starts off right here with Killmonger, #2. The variant that everybody went crazy for the longest time. I saw this. What did we see this? I think this book was the book that almost cost Josh at International Comics a little bit of Tums action. He was going to have to take some Tums after he was going to have to eat a comic book because this book went for something ridiculous, like
$9.80 or something like that.
Yeah, something crazy.
We watched it live, remember?
Yeah, we watched it live. We bet that if it went over a certain amount, Josh would have to eat a comic book, and if it went under that amount, I would have to eat a comic book. It went over, And then we doubled or nothing, and Josh got out of it a few weeks later. So, you know. But here it is, the 1 in 25
yep.
Jeff DeCall, Killmonger.
Yep. Well, this week it sold a CGC 9.8 of this sold for $280.
Make your move. Make your move. It's a great cover.
Say that again. How much?
$280 for a CGC 9.8.
Oh my God! I think the one that we saw go for so much was Raw too.
It was Raw.
I think so.
Well,
Jesus, that
this
is
was. I know.
unbelievable, man. That is just beyond crazy. Wow.
Telling you, there are some deals out there.
Yeah. Well, here's another one. Shout out to James, donated $2.
Thank you, James.
Yeah, we appreciate you. Much love. Yeah, very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. All right, let's continue on with another one here. Miles' book, Marvel Voices Legacy #1, the Olivier Coipel or Oliver Coipel, or however you say his name. We'll figure it out one of these days.
I think we just need to have Brian try and pronounce names.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, just foreign names, just to see how he does.
Yeah.
I love this cover. This cover is awesome. I love the look of it. It looks it's a good cover. This sells for like raw. It sells for like 20, like about $20, 20, something like that. And the last, like a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, a CGC 9.8 of this sold for, I think, 80 or 90 or something like that, which is probably about what it should for a $20 book, something like that. Nope, this week CGC 9.8 sold for $30.
wow, that's a deal.
Yeah. Considering
$30.
that $30 to get the book graded most of the time, right?
Yeah. Oh, Jabe Creed said that was my purchase. He's excited.
Oh.
That's a great buy. That's a great buy.
Great
Yeah.
buy.
Yeah, not bad. Killer buy. Congrats on that one.
How would you say his name? Jabe Creed?
Yeah.
Jabez Creed?
Yeah. Good luck on that one. Maybe you need to be saying the names, huh?
I'm gonna try and read everybody's handles and see if I can figure them out.
Yeah.
Patrick, this sold for $30 for a CGC 9.8.
What was it going for at the high? Do we know?
I just know, like I said, like within the last couple of weeks, it sold for 80 or 90.
Jesus.
And I know it's like a $25 raw book. So, yeah.
Definitely need a market correction there. Good buy.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Our last book on Buy the Dip, brought to you by Popcorn Culture, is the first appearance of Bane, Batman Vengeance of Bane #1.
Man, during COVID, this thing was flying. It got it got to like 9/8 of this got to like what, 650, something like that.
Yeah. I remember asking, is something going on with Bane? Is he coming back?
I know,
Yeah.
man, that thing was just crazy. Yeah, it basically hit this week. It hit I think at least a 2-year low. A CGC 9.8 sold for $300.
Wow.
So
Shout out
I
to
think
Chad.
I think it's at least a 2-year low.
First appearance, cover, and origin of Bane. Get the triple crown there.
And it's not the easiest to get in high grade because it's square bound and it's cheap. The cover is very cheap paper. So it's not the easiest for sure.
Wow. That's awesome. That's a great book to pick up right now if you're a fan of Batman, Bane, or just picking up keys. This book will get hot again at some point. Bane is such a major character in comics, and not just in comics, in everything. He's been in major movies, major cartoons. He's a much beloved character. Yeah.
Iconic.
Amen. All right.
Hey,
and
I'm looking
gentlemen.
at all of these these little $2. These are awesome. Like
Yeah.
I see, let's see here, Chad Cave, High Voltage Mark, No No No, Chad Cave, James. Like seriously, I'm so appreciative for that.
Yeah. Hell yeah, you guys.
Hey, and I'm gonna have a better router because of it. So thank you. I'm gonna have flying speed. Oh, and I am giving this really cool book away this week because I was late. It is Modern Warfare 2 Ghost from Wildstorm #1. I think this is like a $60 to $70 book. I'm giving this away to somebody in the chat
That's what I'm talking about, baby. Tonight. That's the way it
tonight.
works. All right, here we go.
Brian will have to decide how to give it away.
Yeah, we'll figure that out at some point. I gotta go pull up the StreamYard link for the giveaways. There's a way to do that, and I haven't done it in so long that I forgot. There we go. Another one for Thor's Hammer. Thank you, guys. Make sure you guys go sub up to Richie's channel. Let's get him to 1,000 subs. I think he's like at 670 or something like that.
Nah, I'm just like kind of hanging at between 6. I got up to 637, and then I dropped down to 632 again. So now I'm stuck at like 633.
Listen, you guys, we got 138 people live right now. I know there's like 20 of you that are not subbed up to Richie's channel. You can find a link in the description of the YouTube video. Please go sub up to his channel. AOA, if you could drop a link in the chat to his channel, I'd appreciate it. He is, putting out great content, and he's always helping out over here and on Beyond Wednesdays and other places. So make sure you guys go sub up. $2 holla for the router from AOA. Amen. And Chad, I agree. It is always Marco's fault. I agree. All right. Let's get into it, you guys. Next, let's get into the Almost 10. Now, I'm going to have to play around with this one, too, to get this figured out. But we are here, and it is the Almost 10. Starting off with an interesting one. Shout out to Edwin for your new router, $5. Hell yeah. Thank you, brother. Much love. All right, so starting off, this is the regular Virgin variant for this, but there is a metal variant coming out, if I'm not mistaken, right?
It is out.
It is
yes.
out.
And it's I believe it's polybagged, and there's actually a sticker on the polybag that says warning, corners are sharp, which is hilarious. Now, yeah, so this metal version is $100 book. It actually looks pretty good. Most of these metal ones don't necessarily look that great, but this metal one looks pretty good. So
is it what's the color of the background? Is it more like silver than white?
Yeah, silverish.
Silver.
Yeah, I think there is the auction I think it was an auction, or maybe it was a buy it now, that I did see on eBay. It has an actual picture of the actual book, so it looks good.
Yeah. Scar #1, the metal variant from Genoy Lindsay. So be on the lookout. We're going to get into more talk about some crazy books out there that are just kind of getting old, or they're happening more and more often, but is metal and foil variants starting to lose their luster a little bit, you think?
Kind of overkill a little bit.
I agree.
Especially on the high ratio incentives, DC especially, and then trickle down to the smaller publishers. Yeah, that's a good point, Brian. Good question.
I think I would be okay, cool foils, whatever. I want them to go back to what they did back in the 90s with like the embossed, like those that were like, like 3D cover, where it was like embossed covers, like Gargoyles 1 and stuff like that. Those would be cool to bring back.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Well, they did bring them back, dude. They just reprinted them and put a different label on
Wow.
them.
Well, I'm not saying use the original ones, but like,
I know, but it still drives me kind of crazy. Anyways, let's move on to our next one. Captain America, Living Legend number 2. This is a variant, a really, really good variant by Dan Brereton. I guess they're calling it the vintage variant with Red Skull on the cover, and it is fan-frickin-tastic from October of 2013.
I don't remember ever seeing this book before, but this is so cool. This looks just like, something straight out of an EC book. Either Vault of Horrors or Tales from the Crypt or anything like that. This is exactly what it looks like, but it's a 1 in 50, sold for $3.25 this week raw. And I know I've never seen this book in person.
And then in issue 4, there's also another 1 in 50, and it's also kind of like a spin-off homage. You remember the film Bullet? Pretty cool too. Check it out.
Yeah.
Same title.
Yeah. Man. Shout out to Ronnie. Ronnie with the $9.99 super chat. He says, "So glad to see Richie back on the best damn comic show in the galaxy." I can't complain with that one. I kind of agree.
Go check out Ronnie on Instagram.
Amen.
Thank you, Ronnie. I no joke. I was seriously depressed for the last 10 days because I've had this string of bad luck, and I just feel like the universe wants me gone. I wish Joe was here to say it in a Cholo voice, but yeah. Thank you, Ronnie.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Much love. All right. Next. How much is this selling for?
$3.25.
I didn't realize how cool the images on the left look, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Baron Zemo looks badass. That's a good-looking cover. All right, next. This one is gonna. This is gonna send the chat. I mean, we got a couple books tonight, you guys. I'm telling you. On the next, almost 10, we've got Red Shetland, number 8, a furry book based on Red Sonja. The whole book, obviously. And she's a Shetland with boobs.
That is so. Oh, gosh. I know I'm making fun of somebody that's watching this, and I'm sorry. I'm not trying to. I just don't get it. I don't understand. Anyway, this sold for $25. I think it's the last issue, or maybe it's not. I don't know. I don't know anything about it, but I don't know.
There's a lot of these furry books out there, and some of them are really important to the history of comics. I'll say that. Like Terry Moore's creator first stuff. Shout out to AOA for the $2. Richie ran afoul of a gypsy curse. Yep. I watched a really good documentary the other day on the Romani. It was pretty good. Make sure you guys check that out if you guys don't know who the Romani are. Very interesting. All right. How much does this sell for again?
This is a $25 book. If you ever see this in a back issue bin, first I question what kind of stores you're walking into, but two, just I would never even think to buy this.
Unless you're just like a huge Red Sonja lover or hater. It's a parody, right?
Yeah. Was the first appearance of Red Sonja in issue 23 or 26? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
24? I think it was 23.
Conan?
Yeah, and look, because they have 23 in the background back there. So that's the only reason I was thinking. I think it was 23. Could be
23. You're right, Brian.
Yeah. So this is number 8.
Is that Bear, like the second one? It looks like Baloo from the Jungle Book, second to the right.
Yeah.
Doesn't it look like a balloon?
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Well, yeah, some of these books are crazy. I love Volsi. If I see a woman with a tail on a cover, I buy it every time. I like that about you. I do. All right, next on the
Hey,
list.
I was thinking maybe it was selling because of the Kentucky Derby this weekend.
Oh, I bet a couple trifectas.
Louis, I don't know when did this come out? Like the 80s, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
I think 95, right?
Was it 90s?
Hold
it was
on.
90.
No, I got it. You might be right, Richie. You might be right. All right, let me see what it is. Red Shetland number 8 came out in August of 94 from Graphics Press. So, yeah, that's an interesting one. This next one's an interesting one, too. Let me get this here. Next on the list, a hard-to-find book. This is actually, I think it's pretty hard to find. They put it out in hardcover form. They also put it out in floppies. This is one of the floppies, I believe, and I don't know if I have the right cover because I think this might be the dollar one that they put out, but
This is the correct one.
okay. This is Dragon Age: The Silent Grove number 1. Really, really tough book to find from what I've found on the internet. I could be wrong about that. What did this sell for?
First of all, is this a Sedgwick cover? Or who did the cover on this?
That's a great question. I know it came out in 2012 from Dark Horse. Let's see here.
So, just while Brian's looking that up, so this is one of the number one for $1 that things that Dark Horse did. IDW also had something similar to this where they had like dollar reprints of number ones, and I don't remember what they called them. Some of those are really hard to find. Like I don't like some of them are actually worth really good money. This one sold for $88 raw.
Cover artist Anthony Palumbo.
There we go.
Anthony Palumbo.
Tough book to find.
Yeah. So just because it's $1 book doesn't mean that it was overprinted. Some of these people just didn't buy, or that some of these stores just didn't order these. They didn't want to spend the 50 cents on them.
Yeah.
It says reprint. I'm on the Dark Horse site. It says reprinting Dragon Age at Silent Grove number 1 and 2. Silent Grove previously available on the Dark Horse digital and in hardbound collection.
Yep. Volume 1 hardcover on sale now. So maybe they just put this out. I don't know. If there's any fans of this book out there, let us know. It is tied to a video PC game. You are right. The Righteous Flipper. As you can see on there. EA, BioWare. And you know those video game books. They always do well. So
EA Sports. It's in the game.
It's in the game.
this next one is really cool. It is the coolest book on the list tonight, in my opinion, for multiple reasons, but just the historical factor of a book from 1899, you guys, is badass. This is very interesting. This is 1,000 Deaths in the Black Cat from May 1899 by Short Story Publishing Company. And the reason why this is so important is this is Jack London's 6th professionally published story and the first for which he received any payment. That's pretty cool. That's historical.
That is so weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many pages is this thing?
Probably not many. 5 cents back in 1899 was a lot of money, too. Think about that. A lot. So.
Well, this sold for raw. I don't know if you can grade this. I guess it's more like a pulp size, probably. So I guess they would grade it.
It's 9 by 6 inches.
So yeah, that's like pulp. That's pretty close to pulp size.
Yeah. So.
Anyway, this sold for $10,000 raw.
Wow.
$10,000 raw.
Wow.
Now, what scares me about stuff like this is, I mean, how would you even know if this thing's real? Like, what would you compare it to?
Well, that's amazing, right? And I agree with you. You would have to know what it is. What auction did it sell on? Like eBay, Heritage?
On eBay. This was an eBay sale.
So this sold in an auction on PBA Galleries online in 2017 for $250, I think.
For $250?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So.
Gosh, maybe it was the same copy.
I hope so, man. I hope so.
Oh my gosh. What?
Yeah. Super, super rare. Creator first right here. Do I put this in the creator first, you guys? I don't know. If you guys don't know about the creator first, look in the description below. You can find the creator first list. If you know any creator first that you like that aren't on the list, add them. Make a comment. It's open for commenting, and if I see them and I agree with them, I'll add them to the list. So, cool historical book right here. A creator first of one of the greatest writers in history, and super rare and super expensive, but you might be able to find it cheap somewhere.
For $250.
Yeah. This next one is very interesting. I want to give a shout out to one of the OGs in comic book content, one of my favorite all-time YouTube channels, and one of the channels that really got me back into collecting. It helped me find CBSI back in the day on the G Plus boards, even though he wasn't really big on CBSI and the G Plus boards, but seeing his videos of his hauls got me back into like looking for stuff, and that helped me find the G Plus boards. That being our boy Mercenaut, and this crazy cool book, Infinity Countdown #4, the second printing variant with the gold Lifebringer Galactus and Silver Surfer splash page cover.
So this book, for a long time, I pre-ordered this book, a couple copies. I've been watching it. I just fell in love with it. I really like Lifebringer Galactus. I believe his first appearance is in the Ultimates run. I think it's like Ultimates 2. There's also a cool second print. But long story short, been watching this for years, since I believe it was released in 2018. There's multiple outside continuity appearances. There's the first appearance of Moondragon from an alternate reality. First appearance of Gamora, which we were calling her. What were we calling her after Endgame? Requiem. This would be her first cameo. And then Phyla-Vell as Captain Marvel in the guts of this book as well.
Reprinted.
And, excuse me?
It has a reprint of the first appearance of Phyla-Vell in it, too.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, very cool. First appearance, Phyla-Vell from an alternate reality. This is,
yeah.
So I've been watching it for a while. I think the highest I've ever seen it, I think maybe it could have touched 45, 50, but it was always hovering around between 15 and 25, maybe get to a 30. And then Mercenaut posts something on IG. It was maybe like the day after the Antonio Banderas rumors with voicing Galactus. I posted that on my IG. I saw what he posted. I went to eBay right away, and I was in disbelief. And this book is, I think, raw is at an all-time high.
Yeah, it's $45. So this all happened just recently with the okay.
Yep. Last week, yeah.
A lot of rumors.
Awesome.
A lot of rumors flying around for Fantastic Four, and some of them I just don't want to believe, but we'll see what happens. You never know.
I mean, you almost figure that with the whole Kang thing, just with Major just collapsing, I mean, they're almost being forced to jump ship, right?
Yeah.
And they're going to have to pick somebody like Galactus or.
Yeah, that's a great point. And this is a Mike Hawthorne cover, just to let you guys know.
Yeah, very cool. Shout out to Chad Cave. Chad, I love you, brother. But that vodka, man, makes you just want to shower us with love even more. So keep drinking. He says, I have to try and find my bed. Thanks for always being on time, fuckers. I'll watch on the rewind. Oh, you're the best, dude. All right. Next on the list. This is one I didn't know about. I didn't know about this cover. This is a very interesting book, a Star Wars book that I don't think a lot of people would know about. This is from Star Wars Shattered Empire Journey to Star Wars: The Force Awakens, Shattered Empire, issue number 2. It's the Disposable Heroes exclusive Tedesco variant. There you go.
I love Tedesco stuff anyway. It looks so good. This is weird though. Like I can't figure out what's going on. Like why is there a giant stormtrooper head? What is going on? Like did it just did it
Yeah.
explode and blow
Yeah.
out of the ship? I mean, or is it like flying through the hair like or through the through space like something from like Spaceballs or something like that? Like what is going on with this?
It's very interesting. It doesn't make any sense, but it's fucking cool, man.
Yeah, I've never seen it before either, but CGC 98 of this sold for $300 this week.
Man.
And I don't think there's anything important in this book, right? In number 2?
Well, the Shattered Empire stuff, I think, might have been the first place where they started talking about like the tree, the Force tree, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that. I know Shattered Empire had some stuff in it that was important for a little while. It had a really, really some badass Chichetto variants that I liked. I remember that. I remember seeing the Chichetto stuff and pre-ordering them because they were so badass. But I've never seen this one, man. And this is kind of hard to find information on, to be honest. It took me a little bit of time.
I've never heard of that retailer before.
Yeah.
I still think that is the best way to sell exclusives. No advertisement whatsoever.
Yeah.
Just put them out there. Nobody knows anything about them, and then when they see them, they're like, "Oh my gosh, where did you get this?" Nobody knows.
Yeah. Love the Spaceballs reference. Love them. They need to do a Spaceballs. They messed up by never doing the Spaceballs animated show. That would have been so damn good. Messed up. All right. This one is awesome. This is our next one, you guys, on the Almost 10. Well, actually, I'll save that. We'll save it. Continuing on. No, we won't. We're just going to give it away. Garbage Pail Kids, Guide to Surviving the Apocalypse. From Topps website, a special book from Topps website. It's an 8-page comic that they put out specifically to the website, and it came with 2 cards where it's Donald Trump as Atom Bomb, and I need one of these. I need the cards too, so be on the lookout.
So this was from Topps' website?
Yeah, this is a specific website exclusive that they put out. You got all 3 of the things on there. I think there might have been something extra in there, but I'm not sure. I could be wrong. But I know you got at least these 3 things, and the comic is only 8 pages.
That is interesting.
Yeah. Oh, very, very cool. Very, very cool.
Well, the comic sold for a CGC 96 sold for $400. I don't know how much the card. I didn't know there was cards that came with it too. If they're exclusive, I don't know how much are the cards selling for.
I've seen it was. I think it was a sale I saw for $4.99 for the set raw.
Okay.
And it was only like $19 or $20 on the site, I think.
Sheesh.
Yeah. It was cheap, and I love that. I love that. So very, very cool. All right, next. This is an interesting one too that I had trouble finding information about. Sea of Thieves #1 cover C from Titan.
Yeah, I don't know what this actually is. I will say Titan puts out some pretty good covers. And they do like an A-B, like they don't really have incentives. They have like A, B, C, D covers. And if you try and find some of those like C and D covers, some of them are just brutally hard to find. But I've never heard of this one. This is a pretty good cover. I don't know. Sea of Thieves, Pirates. I don't know.
I don't know
There's-
much about this other than that.
there's a variant game cover. I think it's like cover B, and then there was also a looks like a PAX East convention exclusive.
So this is a game. This is a video game.
No, that there was a variant that was homaging a game, like a game variant.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you were saying cover C, I was just filling in what cover B and
Oh,
D
okay.
was.
Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, CGC 9.8 of this sold for 165. So that's pretty good for
Yeah, I agree.
a book that I don't really know much about.
Yeah, I remember Sea of Sorrows. I do remember that. Shout out to Jersey to the Bay. All right, next, our final book for the Almost 10 this week, you guys. Shout out to our boy, Big Clutch, a.k.a. Sean Kirkham. He's got a Whatnot sale. I think he's back on Whatnot, and he's selling a really rare version of Walking Dead #1, the wine variant. I think that's coming up. Go check it out. Go look into it. Big Clutch. And you guys can score some crazy rare Walking Dead stuff from him. Well, here's a crazy rare Walking Dead book for everybody. The Walking Dead #116, the third print.
Third print. And we haven't talked about this book in a long time because it's like hyper rare. So this, if I'm getting the story straight, I could be wrong, but I believe this was only distributed to like one store in Europe. Like
Yeah,
they
the
were
UK.
yeah, like they sent it over, like they sent them over there because they were supposed to be doing something with them, and then it never happened.
Charlie. Yeah, you're exactly right. So the range is 25 to 50, so we'll say 50 copies max. Unintentionally actually went into circulation after that comic shop that Ben was just talking about in Europe. In the UK was sent these books for Charlie Adlard, the artist, signing.
Yep.
And they got out.
Wow. That's cool.
Hmm.
I love stuff like that.
Yeah, so I was telling Brian there was two graded sales of this. They were both, I think, signed by Adlard, but they were the same book for the same price. So I don't even buy that those were even sales. But there was a raw sale of this for 900. I don't. It feels like it used to be more than that, but I can't. It's been so long, I couldn't even find any comps to even compare it to. And that's with, obviously Walking Dead stuff, other than #1, probably everything else has cooled dramatically.
It's funny if you the difference because this is this the same cover art as cover A, but this just has third print underneath
the color's different.
Because fandom has the Walking Dead fandom has this cover as the go-to when they're talking about the guts and the specs of the book.
Walking Dead 116. Let me see if there was any, like, sometimes they used to do like the coloring different, and this looks, I'm looking at MCS, it looks like the first print is maybe a blue and the second print is maybe
Purple.
light gray, and this one's more purple, I guess.
Interesting. Any Walking Dead fans out there, let us know if you have one of these or if you're looking for it or if you even knew about it. I'd love to hear from you guys. I love Walking Dead fans because I know they're going through some pain. So, all right, you guys, that is the Almost 10. Make sure you guys come hang out with us tomorrow night on Beyond Wednesdays for Modern Comic Mayhem. What are we going to be talking about? I don't know. I don't know yet. I imagine it's going to be talking about recent DC moves and Guardians, and definitely we're going to have some interesting drama, comic book drama alert segment fun for tomorrow. And we'll get into that a little later for the rest of the list as we continue on for the Hot 10, starting with our honorable mention. Our Golden Age honorable mention this week from Target Comics. Or from, is it Target Comics? It is Target Comics, number 8, right?
Number 3.
Number 3.
But you have the right picture, yes.
Okay.
But it is number 3.
All right.
Yeah, 1942. So right there, World War II era, and they are. First of all, I didn't realize they had this kind of like rollers back then. Like it looks like blacktop rollers. I guess they would use them for other things back then, but they're smashing Hitler, and then just basically holding the American flag over it. So it's a pretty cool cover. I like it a lot. Pretty hard to find. This is not an easy book to find. There's only been like 1 or 2 sales in the past 3 years, graded sales. So it's pretty difficult. But they CGC 6.5 of this sold for $4,800.
Wow.
Yep.
Not bad.
Pretty much like any of these covers anymore, where they're like that. I still want that Hitler hanging cover
That we talked about last week.
Yeah, or 2 weeks. Yeah, whenever it was. I really want that now. Just anything to show Hitler getting punished is just cool now. I don't know why.
Yeah. It's interesting stuff. That's for sure. I love the person being run over with a steamroller too. That's pretty interesting. And kids riding on it.
Yeah, that's Hitler.
Is it Hitler?
They're running over Hitler.
Oh, and Tojo. Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. All right. Next on the Hot 10 list, honorable mention, Return of the Jedi Lando, issue number 1, the Ryan Brown Virgin variant.
Yeah, it's a 1 in 100. There's only been a couple sales on this. It's the same. Didn't Ryan Brown do the same thing on, what was it, just a few weeks ago, right?
Yeah, for Ewoks.
That's what it was.
You're right, Brian.
And I did not realize, and I can't remember, somebody messaged me on Instagram. I'm gonna have to look, so I can give credit. I didn't know there's 2 Ryan Browns. Did you guys know there was 2 Ryan Browns?
So the Ryan Brown that's associated with the craziness that happened in C2E2 this year for 8 Billion Genies and the reprinting or extra printing of retailer exclusive variants is Ryan Brown spelled Browne. And this Ryan Brown is Ryan Brown spelled Brown. And we like that Ryan Brown better.
So weird. I didn't realize that there was. I guess I just never really thought about it. Who was that? I do apologize for not remembering. I see so many messages and I didn't write down who it was that told me that. So,
I know Chad Cave let me know about it, and a couple other people did let me know too. So shout out to them.
maybe it was Chad.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to look through his weird pics that he sends me.
Yeah.
Yep.
The only problem with this is weird to me because Lando's face is weird. It looks like his head and hair are fine, but his face is like too big. Like his eyes, his nose, his mouth, his mustache.
It looks like he had some plastic surgery.
Something. It looks weird. There's something off. And I like Ryan Brown with an E's art. I love his evil Ewok the other week. I thought that was great. But this one's not bad. I love the way Chewie looks, but there's something off about Chewie too. I think it's just his faces are like he must draw the heads and then put in the. I don't know, man. I don't know. It seems a little off to me. Yeah, something is off. Something is off. But there it is at the honorable mention on the Hot 10 this week. How much was it selling for again?
Just a little bit above about 100 to 110. But there's very, very few of these even out there. I think there might be one or two at auction, and that's about it. That's about the only options you have to buy it right now.
Red Rick says, no, it's accurate. That's just how he looks. That's funny. Johnny says that he's done all the 1/100s lately and the regular covers, right? Do they do the regular covers they have that cool little image blocking on there, and then the 1/100s are just versions of it. So yeah, it looks like a mannequin. I agree. All right, next on the list, let's get started at number 10. A gorgeous Poison Ivy from Jenny Frison. This is issue number 12, the Jenny Frison foil variant. It's a 1 in 50, I believe, right?
Yes, it's 1 in 50, just like kind of DC's been doing on every book. Like, they must have really got a good deal on this foil paper or something, right?
Or their printer, showing some love.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, it's literally every single week. But so you like this one a lot?
I like any Poison Ivy cover that has. I should say this. I like any cover that has mushrooms on it, and it's a Jenny Frison. So I like it.
I shouldn't.
Yeah, you should know that. Come on, bro.
I know, my bad. But this one's selling for like 60 to 80, so a little bit above ratio. I would tend to think it's like I passed, or I basically would have never thought that Tim Drake book would have done what it did. But I would tend to think that this one is probably capped out here, but I don't know, maybe not, but probably is.
How many of the Frison, how many of the Poison Ivy foils has Frison done? She's got to be like up close to 10 by now, or more, right? Or am I thinking wrong?
Has she done every issue? I mean, it's number 12.
Number 12. I mean, there you go. Yeah, you could be right. I think she has.
Some of them were open to order, though, right? Because what's his name? The guy that Selbin.
Yeah. Jeb McKinnon, right?
Jeb McKinnon. Yeah.
Decor says what if Poison Ivy existed in reality idea? Yeah, it'd be creepy. That's for sure. Middleton did some of the 1 in 50. Okay. Yep. So there we go. Number 10, Frison, Poison Ivy. Number 12, foil, 1 in 50. Let's get to number 9. Power Girl back on the list. And this is a kick-ass Power Girl from Guillermo March. Is that right? Power Girl number 5, the 1 in 10.
Guillermo March.
I hate this cover.
Her face looks off.
I'm gonna be honest. I hate it. Like, her face looks, and her neck looks.
Yeah, it's very manly. Her face looks very manly.
I hate this cover, but I'm sure somebody doesn't. Clearly, somebody doesn't, because this was only like a $60 or $70 book, and this week multiple sales of this of 110 up to 140 for this. But I hate this book.
Yeah, it's not that good. I mean, especially for Power Girl. The Power Girl variants that we've been seeing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking if I'm going to spend 110, now obviously this one's going to be much rarer, but if I'm going to spend 110 on a Power Girl book, yeah, I mean, either any of those Will Jack covers, or even if you just went all the way back to the Warren Lau from the same run.
Here's another thing, though. Remember when this came out? This is during the time when DC was putting out Lost 23 as a 1 in 10. You know, some of the 1 in 10s at that time are rare, even though they're 1 in 10s. And
right.
So, yeah. Yeah, the
proportions
off.
The Zatanas were the same. The Bolin Zatanas were in that run, or that time period as well. Yeah. All of those are hard to find.
Yeah. But Power Girl stuff right now is blowing up. She's got that new series coming out, the Will Jack variants. I think have breathed a lot of life into Power Girl variants. Shetland Power Girl. Yeah, you're kind of right. Yeah. Yeah, gonna have to throw over a bag over this cover. It's rough. It's rough from the neck up, but it's selling. It is selling. People like some weird covers out there, you guys. Speaking of that, let's continue on with the list. At number 8 this week, the book that not everybody, but a lot of people are complaining about, Spider-Man number 8, the continued ridiculousness from Dan Slott and Spider-Boy, and people complaining over what a cameo is and what a first appearance is and what a first full appearance is, and it's never going to end. And here it continues with this book. At number 8 on the list is Spider-Man number 8.
This is awful, right?
Yeah. People... I mean, it's become one of those words, like, I feel like we get these cool words, like, one of them that I like really a lot right now is cringe, and they're these words that, like, when you say them, you know exactly what it means and how you feel, and, like, cringe is, like, a really cool word right now because you know exactly what, but it's going to get used out too much, like woke. Woke has become, like, one of those words that I hate to hear, and so has FOMO, but it's the truth. It is the truth with some of these books, and people are just... they'll buy a ton of them because they're scared that if they don't, and they're buying from the people who are selling them to make money. And if you're making money off this, I'm happy for you, because they're feasting on these crazy books.
But who is making the determination that this is a first anything?
Well, I think Dan Slott came out and said that it's a second, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it's the same as all time. It's the market. The market always does. The quote-unquote market does.
See, but there's no way the market actually does that, though, right?
Well, it does, because the market is based on making money, and it's whatever they need to make money off at the time. So, right, this is new. It's coming out. People bought into it. So, of course, they're going to say, oh, no, this is a first full. Even if you're one of the people... Listen, I love Mighty Mel V, right? I love him to death. But I bet you when he goes to sell this book, he's going to have a hard time not saying first appearance or first full. You know what I mean? I'm just joking with that. I realize that he's going to say that first fulls are second appearances because that's how Mel is. But that's, you guys get what I'm saying. Like, people that really need to sell this book right now are going to try and figure out a way to say, no, well, she's, the character really is in the whole comic and da-da-da-da-da. And yeah, whatever.
Hey, in fairness, though, this cover is awesome.
Yeah, it's a good cover.
I love this cover.
It is a good cover.
That is a really... And this is, I just went and looked. This is a Mark Bagley cover, so it's not Ramos. If it was Ramos, I'd be like, no, but I love this cover. It's really cool, but
yeah,
there's no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I was going back and forth with Topher. We had a pretty healthy and clean debate. He made some valid points, and then I went to bat on my point of view. In my definition, without getting way too into it, is a cameo appearance. To me, first cameo is a debut, first, like a brief first debut appearance. First full appearance is a comic term for a first full introduction. And if you haven't read Spider-Boy number 7, then you probably should, because he is fully introduced. He's in multiple panels. He's named. He's every, I mean, it's a second full appearance in my opinion, and I get what Topher was saying. Topher was saying, who makes these rules? This check. Do we have a checklist? He made a lot of sense. You guys should go to Topher's IG, comic book True First. He also writes a really cool article on CBSI. Highly recommend it. Good dude. But he's very passionate, like I am, about this stuff. And read our how we went back and forth, and if you guys want to comment, like or dislike, feel free to. But yeah, that's to me a cameo appearance is a character that pops up and is briefly appears, and then there's a lot that goes into that. A full appearance to me is a first full introduction, and then your next step is the origin, where we find out the backstory on that character. People are using terms literal, which I understand, but remember, these are comic book terms. Like, for instance, if I'm playing baseball and I'm gonna hit a ball over the fence in fair, it's a home run. Doesn't mean I'm going to run home to my house. You know what I mean? So it's a comic book term. The problem is that it's so convoluted and there's so much inconsistency, and that's an issue. So we need to figure it out.
Yeah, the inconsistency, I think, is what irritates people. Is, where they can show up in one small panel and that's all of a sudden a first appearance, but they can be in like 9 pages, but their face isn't shown and they say that's a cameo. Like it doesn't it makes no sense.
Good point.
I think what we need to do is we also need to introduce into the conversation what's important about the book, right? Not first appearances aren't necessarily more important than a full comic, like a second appearance that's a full appearance where a character's in the story and on the cover, right? So like you have to throw like certain things out there. Like, for example, right, the first appearance of Wolverine isn't in 180. It's in an advertisement for like 3 other books, and those are cool books, and we still go search for them, and they still hold premiums. But then we have 180 where he's introduced in a last panel in a story, and that's a cool thing, and we hold value to that. But we hold the most value on 181 where he's on the cover, in the book a bunch. He's, you know what I mean, like introduced as a certain type of character. Those are what's more important. You have to have like I call things like a perfect storm where you have those things. That's what I consider that. 181 is the perfect storm of cover, in major parts of the story, and where he's really supposed to be introduced as a full character. Whereas the advertisements are the first time we see him and name him, and 180 is the first time we see him in a panel in a comic, right? So I think that's kind of where we have to change things on what we hold important. And we hold cover appearances important, and we hold like origin stories and multiple panels important. So we'll just have to figure that out as we go.
And named.
Named, yeah. So it's different for every character. Some characters, their first, quote-unquote, first appearances, they don't even talk. Maybe that's an issue. They need to talk. Obviously, some characters don't talk, but you know what I mean. So anyways, let's continue on with number 7, a book that was on the list last week, and here it is again, She-Hulk, the Ji Hung Lee Virgin variant. That is a very, very cool cover. Great cover like this. And the trade dress cover is cool too.
Yeah, last week this was 175 to 200, which the week before was like 110. So it went from 110 to 175, and now it's up to 250. Yeah, this is expensive book now. I wish it was only on one cover, didn't have a trade dress for cover price, and I think it may even command more if this was the only cover that was on. But I don't know, it's reminiscent of me to the, what is it, that Ghost Spider?
Yeah.
Where it just has a different look to it, and people are still spending big money on that Ghost Spider. It's like $1,000 book, right?
Yeah. 2,000, I think, for a 9.8, right?
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, probably
1,800, something like that.
Not saying that this is $1,000 book, but it for a She-Hulk book, I think it definitely has that different look to it.
Yeah. Great cover. Good stuff. All right, continuing on with number 6, we've got Do You Poo Any Issue? All right, start going crazy.
Oh my gosh. All right, so I'm just going to read some of these because I literally had no idea what was going on. First of all, this is all I do not get this at all. We've got Stranger Poo, we've got All Out Poo, Super Do You Poo, which is like Mario, Alien Poo, uh I don't even know what, oh, that's like Garbage Pail Poo, Power Ranger Poo, Anti-Venom Poo, Poo Knight,
There he is. There he is.
Top Poo Maverick. I'm just going down the list here. These are just ones that I'm just looking at. You got Michael Jordan Poo, Poo Terra for Pantera, Poo Terra, Poo DeLorean. You got 2 different Poo DeLoreans. You got a, oh, maybe there's 3. There's like, oh yeah, there's 3. I don't understand these books. Can somebody please try and explain to me what is going on with these books?
Yeah, what's the appeal if you guys are buying them? And don't be scared. We're not going to rip on you. If you're buying these, let us know. Well, why are you buying them? Let us know.
I don't. I mean, like, look, I don't hate on Marat Michaels for putting a product out that people are buying. I mean, you make your money, but I don't understand what is going on. Why would you spend this much money on this book?
Well, they're all like homages, right?
Yeah, I don't think people realize what this book is. And I can't wait. One of these days, we're going to get Marat to come on the show on the channel and be on Wednesdays. We're kind of locking it in. I got a show I'm working on with Jesse James, an industry show, and I've already told him I really want to get Marat on to talk about this. And it can be a touchy subject sometimes, right? Because you don't want to, you don't want to tell anybody, what they create or what they've created is, it makes you angry or whatever, or it kind of has become ridiculous because he's making a living off of it. But the thing is I think it's kind of starting to run its course for most collectors, but there's collectors out there that love these books. And so here's a couple questions for me. Is this the very first Do You Poo? Is this the very first Do You Poo? This issue, 42 copies or something like that made. I would love to know about that. As you guys saw, there's tons and tons of different covers for this, and that's the important thing, covers. I'm saying covers because that's what they are. They're covers. The interior art is the same for every single one of these books or covers. It's just a different cover. And Marat can get these books out in 2 days, 3 days. I mean, Spider-Man 7 came out like a week before Las Vegas Con, and Marat's got Do You Poo Spider-Man 7 cover, Ramos cover homage at Las Vegas. You know what I mean? Like he can get these books out. His fans absolutely love them. They buy them up. They sell out.
But why? I mean, so, okay, I have 2 questions. 1, why are they buying them? 2, how is this not like, I mean, isn't like Disney like, I mean, do they, I mean,
it's not Disney anymore. This is, he's able to do it, I think, mostly because, 1, it's art. I think it's art, but I think it's also because it's free domain. Winnie the Pooh is free domain. That's why they have the Winnie the Pooh horror movie out there. It became free domain, I think, in like 2017 or something like that. So, Disney bought that from the writer. Yeah, public domain. Yeah. They bought it from that writer, and it wasn't an original Disney story. So I think that's how he's able to do it. And it to be honest, that's super smart. Like, Marat is super smart. And I don't know the history of Do You Poo. I know there's some interesting stuff in there that I would love to get into when we talk to him about it. I want to talk, I want to speak straight to the person that's putting these books out and that really knows, because these are making money. Like, these are selling out. So many people are doing variant covers of it. Like, here's the other thing. if this is the very first Do You Poo, the amount of books and longevity of this thing happening, this has got to be worth a bunch of money. The very first one.
Yes. How would you locate it though?
That's
I
the
mean, how would you even
problem.
do a search on this? I mean, there's like, I mean, they're all the same book, so it's not like you can go like issue number 3. Nope, I have no idea. They're all number 1.
Yeah.
Can I share my screen real quick?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, shout out to Decor. He says, same con as Kyle Willis, but unlike Kyle, at least he is actually changing the cover with different art per cover. Yeah, that's a problem. That's exactly what's happening.
Here we go. Do You Poo?
Yep.
Spider Boy. Thank you, Manny.
Yep, there it is. It was put out, days after. It's absolutely crazy. And again, it just goes to show you, like, Marat is on his game. He's been on his game for a long time. Marat Michaels is early Image guy. He's been in the industry for a long time. He's respected, by his peers and comic shop and retail owners alike. He's a good guy. He gets along with people. So that's the only thing I don't want to sit here and shit on it, because I have so much respect for the guy and I like the guy. But man, it's getting to the point like ASM 300 homages, foil covers, titty books. So
Yeah, see I was talking to Brian and Richie before the show, and that was a huge issue this week. All these poo covers, because I think there's been cons the last couple weeks. All these poo covers selling, and then all of these nude covers. There are so many of them that have sold. It's amazing, and they're producing it's like ramping, like they're doing it for like all kinds of books now. And I mean that one person on Whatnot, I mean, like her entire store, that's basically what it's based off of, right?
Well, not only
Like,
that, it's her as the cover model. That's kind of weird too.
it is?
Yeah. Like,
Who's the seller, Brian? Is that Street Heroes?
No, Melinda's Comics, I think, is her name that she does.
Okay.
And they like.
I mean, just
dude. Drama. Listen, I'm just gonna say this: if you guys are interested in this topic, you don't want to miss Monocomic Mayhem tomorrow night for Comic Book Drama Alert. I'm just gonna say that.
yeah, Shikari, yeah, overprint, yeah, Shikari. I mean, like, seriously, just do a search on Shikari covers. There are, I mean, just they're everywhere. I'm everybody's spending their money on those.
Yeah.
They're not spending them. They're not spending them on like keys anymore. They're buying these covers. They're buying Pooh and Pootie.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they're spending money on. It's crazy.
Yeah. I want somebody to do a Do You Poo Painkiller edition, and just a big word on it that says no.
No. All you opiate addicts and former addicts know what we're talking about.
Yeah. So there's nothing worse. There's nothing harder in this world than trying to poo when you can't poo. So, all right, you guys. Hold all your comments for the comment section. For everybody that's catching this on the replay, let us know what you think about Do You Poo, and if you collect and why you collect, and if you know what the very first Do You Poo comic was. Shout out to Chad Cave, who donated another 10 and says, I'm sleep donating. We love you, brother.
I was gonna say, I thought he went to bed.
Yeah. So, all right, let's move on to the second half of the list tonight. I want to say thank you to everybody that's joined live. There's 192 watching right now. Hit those thumbs up, you guys. It really, really helps us in the algorithm. It gets the show out there to more people who don't know about it, and it makes the live shows even more exciting when the chat is really, really popping, and we appreciate you guys doing so. At number 5 this week, another book that was on the list last week that is getting more love, and a classic book. I don't mind these books showing up on the list like this, when they're being talked about in the news. and it's a classic book, a classic cover. My friend Kyle, shout out to Saturday Night Special, my homie Kyle, he has always talked about this cover. I don't know if he owns one. I think he probably does, but I remember him always talking about this cover, and it's just a classic cover, classic first appearance. It is early Amazing Spider-Man, all around great book. At number 5, Amazing Spider-Man number 41.
Yeah. So it was hot last week and started moving up, and then this week there were a ton of sales. CGC, so these are like just some of the ones that I noticed that were up again. CGC 3.5 350, 4.5 500, 7.5 almost 1,000. That was just what I could find, but it's basically just it's selling a lot.
Yeah, it's the Sony CinemaCon was I believe it was the last week of April, and it was privy to the people at that event, and then it got out, and for the Craven adaptation with Sony, and we got a sneak peek of Rhino. So
I think that's
Now
going to be a
it's
good
going nuts.
movie. I think that's good. I think that there's a chance that it's going to be a movie. I should change that. I don't trust Sony ever, but there's a chance
Yeah,
that could be a good movie.
I like that actor that's playing Craven.
Yeah, so do I. I agree. And I think it could be
When's
cool.
that supposed to come out?
Pretty soon.
Well, here's the
Months.
interesting thing, right? A lot of things are being pushed back and being shelved because of the writer's strike. So if they had to do any type of like rewrites on anything or just changing things up a little bit, they're going to be shelved until this writer's strike is over. So, that happened with Blade. Blade's been shelved because of the writer's strike. I know the Superman stuff with James Gunn, and if he continues writing that script and the Writers Guild sees that, that's a big issue. So we'll see how that plays out. Keep an eye on that writer's strike. It's cheesy to me. It's really cheesy to me, but that's just the way it is. It's been that way for a while, and anybody that decides to step over that line becomes a scab, right? So,
Right.
Yeah, but they can still write it on their own time though, right? And that way when the strike is over, then they can submit it.
if I think that obviously they can do that, but if it comes out to be that way and and other writers find out and say that, then you're going to be ostracized, within your.
Just because you like have the idea and you want to write it down so you don't forget or wait. That's dumb.
It is. I agree 100%.
That's stupid.
It is. I agree. So, but it is what it is. Hopefully it'll change soon. People will realize that that doesn't help anybody. Yeah.
I'm gonna strike. What do you want to strike over?
Well, we did strike for about 40 minutes tonight, so we got
did.
money, and we got money over it too. So maybe next week we're 50 minutes late.
Hey, Brian, quick question. Are the writers, are they a part of SAG?
That is a good question. I think they have their own guild, their writers guild, like WAG maybe. I don't know. No, Writers Guild. So WG. I don't know. Maybe FAG for Film Actors Guild.
I think you're just making stuff up.
No, yeah. All right, let's continue on at number 4. Another Fantastic Four rumor on the horizon. Fantastic Four number 211 at number 4. And Richie, let us know what's going on here.
So I was telling these guys backstage, the whole after we pass the Silver Age Fantastic Four into the early Bronze Age, we get past the Holy Trinity, and then we get past the Silver Surfer Galactus origin between those two, 72 I think through 77. You get into the Bronze Age, and there's not many Bronze Age Fantastic Four books that are really stand out that are keys besides this book, and there's like that Galactus cover, and then there's the female Nova, right? Well, this one has always been one of those ones that has to be in my collection because I really like heralds, like Fire Lord, Silver Surfer, so on and so forth.
Agreed.
A rumor came out last week that Terex is going to appear in the MCU, and it's coming right around the same time all this Galactus and Fantastic Four stuff is happening. So this book, in the guts, you got the first appearance of Terex, the Tamer, herald who travels through the cosmos at the head of a meteor shower, seeking planets for Galactus to eat and devour. Big time increase in copies. A lot of low to mid range copies were selling for like $10, $15, but just tons of them flying off. And then the high grades started popping up, and the slabs started selling. And Ben's got the numbers on the slabs. Go ahead, Ben.
Oh no, I was just gonna say the one that I noticed was a CGC 9.6 sold for $260.
That's up. And then there was also another one that sold for 280, and then I think on the, what do you call that system, 150 point whatever, there was one that
130
showed
point.
130 point. There was one that sold for 230 in the same week, and a lot of raw copies now, high grade raw copies 90 and above, selling for between 60 to some $75 sales. So yeah.
I'm a big fan of heralds too. That's one of my favorite things as a kid. I love Frankie Ray Nova. You know, I always talk about how much I love Cosmic Marvel, and to me, this is one of those. I don't know if you would call it a major key, but definitely a minor key that's worth picking up whenever you see it, for cheap at least.
Totally agree.
Yeah. All right. At number 3 this week, let's get into it. Top 3 on the Hot 10. Hit those thumbs up. 204 Live. Another Fantastic Four book. And you guys heard it over the last couple of weeks. There's rumors Antonio Banderas will be voicing Galactus in the Fantastic Four. And you can't have Galactus without Silver Surfer. You know that that's coming too. And this book is an all-time classic. One of the grails that I achieved picking up. I picked up one of these when I first got back into comics in the early mid 2000s for like $75 raw. I was so stoked.
Wow.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these were, again, I was telling them before the show, and I wasn't sure exactly why. I mean, it kind of makes sense, like, you know, especially with all the Kang, with all the Jonathan Major stuff going on. It almost feels like Marvel might have to just completely pivot away from that entire storyline. I don't know how they're going to do it, but if they do, they're going to probably have to just go with something like Galactus. I mean, for the whole thing, if they're going to try and do something, you know, across all movies or whatever, it feels like. I mean, I haven't seen Guardians yet. I'm assuming there's probably nothing. If they had something Kang in there as like a trailer or something like that, I would assume that they might have pulled it. I don't know, but the sales that I saw in this CGC, this was just this week, and these were all up. Now, obviously, it dropped from COVID highs, but these were all up from where it basically kind of was low, just a few weeks ago. One O's $800, 5 O's $1920, 6.5 $2,600 for this. So all of those are back up on this.
Cool.
I thought it was pretty interesting. Ben brought up a point backstage about 49.
Yeah.
What were you? Can you share with the?
Yeah. I mean, because you mentioned, well, what about 49? And I, it was weird. Like the sales on 49 are either the same or less than what they were last week. So, it was 48 was up, 49 was down a little bit actually. So it was kind of strange.
I love 49 because it has them on the cover, right? This is great. You guys know my favorite character in the Marvel Universe is the Watcher. I love this cover because of that. But again, when you got the characters on the cover, first full, they call it, of Galactus, which again, we already talked about that. But again, they're on the cover. And it's such a classic cover. I talked about it in my market report on Wednesday night, last week or Wednesday night, I can't remember, where a Mexican version sold, a Raw sold, and a like a 7.0 sold, I think all for around the same price, which was crazy. So,
yeah, that is weird.
Yeah, 49 should be 181. You're right, John. I agree. Even though I love this cover. All right. Let's continue on. At number 2 this week, a book that a lot of people were talking about. Saw a lot of people chatting about this book. Another Star Wars book with more first appearances in it. We got a couple first appearances in this one. Star Wars number 34. And I'm not even a big fan of the cover, and I love badass Luke, But this cover just isn't that great to me.
It looks very anime-ish.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And you got 2 first appearances in it, Dr. Kuwata and Greta, I think it is. Richie, you read this. What did you think? I haven't had a chance to read this.
I only got through the first half, and then you called me. So I read the first half, jumped in the shower, was getting ready for the show, was going to read the second half in case we had a discussion similar but a little more more heated, and with the live chat, and you called, and I didn't get to read the second half. So let me continue that answer tomorrow on MCM.
Yeah, there we go. But it is selling. Brand new book. And it's on the move at number 2 this week. What is it selling for again, Stein?
20.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
what about the variants?
Tons of copies.
There's variants of this, right? I can't remember the variants.
I think there's a action figure variant, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a Darth Maul one, if I'm not mistaken. Am I wrong about that, or was that on FOC this week? I can't remember. The badass JTC Darth Maul hologram variant. That's sick. Really sick. So, anyways.
Cool.
Oh, yeah, I see it. It is sick. It might be one of his better ones.
Yeah. I think we kind of talked about that. Shout out to Comic Man Andy. Make sure you guys come hang out with us every Tuesday night on his channel with Wood and Andy and Rhinoverse, where we do Comic News Weekly every Tuesday night. That was a lot of fun. We talked about this book pretty heavy on there. So, yeah. All right. Number 1 this week, you guys. I bet you this is one that you guys did not know about, and you should have known about. We all should have known about this book. The Rocketeer, Planes, Dames, and Rockets, a Kickstarter book at number 1, which is very interesting. Shout out to Megalith. Make sure you guys go check out Megalith. A Kickstarter book at number 1, just released, just started being sent out to people who backed the project. This is the Adam Hughes cover. They did a Jay Lee cover too, but most people, I think, are only selling the Adam Hughes cover that I've seen. And I know me and Stein kind of talked about this. This is super cool. And based on a Dave Stevens documentary Kickstarter, that if you backed a certain section of the Kickstarter, you got this and the Jay Lee variant, or one or the other, I can't remember. But a beautiful Adam Hughes cover, Dave Stevens documentary, rare book, probably didn't print very many of them. This is a perfect storm.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when this was on Kickstarter, and I actually only thought about it. I just wanted the DVD because I thought it would be a cool DVD about Dave Stevens. I wasn't as excited about this. I figured that it would probably sell when it came out, only because that pop kill did, went absurd.
Yep.
But I think the pop kill surprised people. I'm not sure this one was as much of a surprise. I mean, I think a lot of people, I think I remember looking at the number of backers on this, and it was high. I'd have to go back and look. But I appreciate that cover, Lover. Which is why I ended up not getting it. but again, I wanted it mostly just for the DVD, um, not for this. But um, Hughes is going to have a cover though for the issue with like they're rebooting Rocketeer. He is going to have a variant for that. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
So if you like and it's totally different cover than this. So if you do like this one, you may like that 1 in 10 of the other one. But um, Airboy, that's a good question. Why would it be worth more than the Dave Steven covers?
They didn't do Dave Stevens covers, did they? I thought they only did Jay Lee and Adam Hughes.
No, I think he's talking about like the original.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. I would assume just limited is probably why. Those Rocketeer covers were probably they're not super rare. They're not the easiest to find in high grade, but they're not super rare either. But I don't know. I think it's a good Adam Hughes cover because it's not like overly like in your face. Hey, look at this woman. I think it's more of a classic looking. This looks more like something you would have seen like in an like a golden age romance book or something like that is kind of what it looks like to me, rather than you know some kind of headlight cover or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. We're going to talk about this more tomorrow night on Comic Book Drama Alert. I'm getting to the point where, some of the nudity and stuff is kind of getting a little out of hand for me. And I'm not like a prude, you know what I mean? I'm not like one of those guys that's like totally against that, but it's getting a little too much and a little too close to kind of being out of line, that I'm gravitating more towards stuff like this. Like I love seeing a beautiful woman in clothes on a comic book nowadays, because there's so many damn crazy nude books of characters who are supposed to be kids or teenagers, and it is what it is. But that's another reason why I loved Adam Hughes books for the longest time, is he's also got this like this old school art appeal to him, and that's what Rocketeer is. It's kind of steampunk 40s style, and that's what I love about this cover. It's great. It's good stuff. So number 1 on the list, you guys go check it out. Hopefully some of you guys picked it up. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. We are going to redirect you guys over to our homies over at Mighty Mel V, aka Drunken Chat. You guys go over there, enjoy it.
Right after the giveaway.
Right after our giveaway tonight. You are correct. Of course, Drunken Chat is live right now with Comics Main and Lucas doing their stuff. And we do have a giveaway here. Hold on one second. Let me find it. StreamYard comment.
Cover Lover Comics, thank you for that comment. That was really, really nice. He says, House of Stein is a place to enjoy comic book YouTube. Longtime subscriber, multi-time commenter, hugs and love. I went ahead and followed you on IG. Thank you for that comment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, here we go. Everybody that's live right now, put a comment in the chat if you're watching live right now. Let us know what you thought about the show tonight. If it was good, bad, indifferent, we want to know. And you will be entered in the giveaway for the book. We currently have 34 entries. And we want to give you a few more, you guys. So, again, we are going to be redirecting you guys over to our friends over at Mighty Mel V channel as we end, but you guys definitely want to score in on this giveaway. Again, all you have to do is say something in the live chat. We currently have 37 entries. We're going to give you a couple more seconds to do that. 177 watching live, and this is a really cool book that Stein is giving away here. Modern Warfare Ghost is the book. Very,
tough
very
book.
cool book. Yeah, very, very tough book. So make sure you guys Check it out. Books. Check them out.
Whoever wins, make sure you just hit me up on Instagram, send me a message, tell me what your handle was, to confirm who you are, and yeah, unless it's somebody I know.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. All right, we have 176 watching, and only 58 people in the chat. So make sure you guys check that out. Mrs. Horsecock Express donated $4.99. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. You know that. One of our favorites.
That's why we put
members.
that furry book in there just for you.
Yeah, just for you. So 177, 63 entries. We're going to give you another minute or so till we hit 10:22 Phoenix Pacific time, and then we'll give it away. So you guys got anything coming up this week? Richie, you got anything coming up?
So Target dropped the very hot, probably the hottest product that I can remember since Julio Rodriguez and Wander, the Monopoly NBA Prism Blaster and booster packs. They dropped today. At first they were doing 3, but the bots somehow got in there, and then they dropped to 1 per. But they're allowing multiple orders. So I went ahead and just got a board game and a blaster together, because in the board game you get packs with parallels as well. So I'll be doing videos on that. I also got some really cool videos I edited while I was sick with basketball, because the basketball playoffs are going on with Prism Mega Boxes, beautiful red cracked ice parallels, tough pulls. But there's some really good rookies that are probably going to end up having really good, real long careers in the NBA. Paulo's one of them. He just won Rookie of the Year. So sub up to me, and I'll be doing also every Sunday or Monday day, Hump Day Heroes, FOC, and then Comic Book Day spec videos.
Awesome. Hell yeah. Stein, any thing coming up with Stein packs or anything like that?
I've got an order. Well, I've got books with Red Hood, and I've got books with Philip Chung. And as soon as they get done pressing those and sent to CGC, and those comes back, and I've got a small order that were unpressed that looked like they all had 9/8 chances. I just sent those. So as soon as all of those come back, then we will get to Stein pack 7. Is it 7 or 8? I have to go back and look. I can't remember. I think it's 7, but I am going to do something completely different as far as being able to buy them this time, though. It's going to be something to where you can't just get lucky and just get one. Like I'm going to make sure that people who are
community members,
people who are YouTube, Instagram followers are going to basically be able to get first dibs on those. So, so as soon as those come back, then we'll go with it, and I will figure out the best way to get it to people that are constant followers.
Not bad. Well, tomorrow night, you guys, Modern Comic Mayhem on Beyond Wednesday. Very, very interesting show. We'll have an interesting comic book drama alert segment. We'll be talking about the Jim Lee news. We'll be talking about Guardians, of course. And listen, I've set up the Discord for you guys to start calling in. I want you guys to start calling in. Hell, have a funny made-up voice like a jerky boy and call in. I don't care. Start using the call-in on Discord. You can find the links to the Discord and all the video descriptions that of the shows and content that I help produce. Start utilizing that. Start calling in. It can be fun. It can be very informative, and you can get your points across. And I'm open for educated discourse. I'm open for a little bit of excited conversation. When it gets too heated, we're gonna hit you with that dial tone. But call in, give it a shot. First time caller, long time listener type stuff. All right, here we go, you guys. Giveaway. Winner is Ding, 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 ding. And that's pretty cool. Heiko Zeal, you are the winner. Let us know where you're at. Hit up Stein at the House of Stein on IG. We'll figure out a way to contact you, and we appreciate all you guys hanging out with us every Friday night here on the House of Stein for the Hot 10. Pretty damn cool. We will see you guys
Appreciate
later.
everybody.
Adios.
See you.